Welcome, Professor Kev Show. I got my buddy Bing with us. Gonna go in a little different direction today. I just want to hear a little bit about what Bing's working on. How you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, glad to be on the show. So I'm currently working on a range of stuff. By the day, I'm working as an HCI researcher, a human computer interface researcher at a company called MindRove in Hungary. We are mainly working on EEG and EMG products. So basically, mind readers and muscle readers or armbands that can help you control computers or control whatever, to be honest. And by night, then I have a YouTube channel called Build with Bing, where I created a proof of concept tech, like the first LLM to run locally on an USB. Actually, I have it with me right here. Or like the first LLM platform to be deployed on radio network, or like just a literal talking bear that knows where you touches it. Yeah, that sort of stuff.
How do you come up with these ideas? Because it's really cool and fascinating.
Yeah, that's actually a question that a lot of people ask me, and I don't know if you have read The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, but
I,
it's a very yeah, it's an insanely interesting book that just conceptualized art as not the way of expressing, it's also the way of creating stuff. And creating stuff isn't just art. It's about bringing something to life. And he taught about this process where there's basically three components. So there's the source, and there's the filter, and then there's you. And the main way I've been able to come up with many ideas, many great ones, is the first thing is I start with the source. So I think compared to a lot of peers of my age, my social media is completely different to them. If you were to go on my Facebook or my X right now, all you see is like scientific research or videos about tech demos and tech proof of concepts. And that's what I call my source. So I leave the inspirations as close to me as possible. And the second thing that was mentioned in Rick Rubin's book is the filters. So if you have a lot of information around you, you want to take them in selectively, right? You want to take in the good things, and you want to leave out the things that just might distract you. And that happens a lot. For example, if I were to work on HCI and if I were to be distracted by the latest web technology, by LLM, I might just jump into that. So yeah, I have to selectively collect the things that are most impactful to my work and most impactful to me. And that's basically the filters. And now what you have is information. And that just ultimately depends on you. And this is like I don't really remember like the word he used for it, but it's like cooking. You're cooking something, right? You have all these kind of ingredients right next to the table, and you have a pot right in front of you. And now is the time to experiment. Like, yeah, I have some ideas, and this is the most important thing. A lot of people have cool ideas, but they never act on it, you know?
This is an idea. Yep.
Yeah, it's like you have the place. You have the place to put your ideas to real life. You have the ideas. Like, why don't you do it? And that's just what I do. I test like tons of ideas per week. For example, right now I'm doing like five or six things at the same time. I'm just trying to put these out as fast as possible, see the result. Then if they fail, they just fail. There's nothing about it. But when they work, they truly work. For example, the latest work I did, or like at least like 2 weeks ago, was the first LLM on USB, and that created tons of traction. I got on Tom's Hardware, I got on Hackaday, I got on Hackster.io, and that brings me to a lot of sponsorships as well. Like hardware companies like Seat Studio, they came towards me and they said like, "Hey, you got cool ideas. We want to sponsor you hardware for you to create like things like this for us." And yeah, I cost like 50 projects, 50 ideas that I did bring to life to have one like that. So
I
yeah, that's just the process.
I have a follow-up question. Have you ever been wrong? So you create something, you're like, it's kind of useless, and it ends up being hot. Have you ever been wrong?
I've been wrong a lot. Like I can't like say like one time I've been wrong like specifically because there's too many of them.
Yep.
But um, just for example, then I
Here's the question. Let me flip the question. Have you ever thought something was going to be hot and it wasn't? Is that an easier question?
hmm honestly no, because I never think of something like that, I guess. Because, for example, if I were to create a product and I want it to be like 1 million user, this is gonna be so hot in
Yeah.
just a month. And if it turns out to be not, then I never feel much about it because I always think of doing something, it has more results
Yeah.
than just like gaining traction, you know. It's gaining me learning, a
Yeah.
lot of learnings.
Now,
And it also gave
that's my
me a lot of
reading.
connections.
You're
So
just putting
yeah.
good in the world. You're not, judging good. You don't, in my limited 3 minutes we've been playing, I see you just putting good in the world. You don't see good or bad. Here's my idea, put it out and let the universe decide. You don't strike me as like, this is good, this is bad. You just seem to be a creator and let the world judge it. See, that's
Yeah,
my
exactly.
3 minutes,
Yeah.
so which is, I wish more people saw the world that way because when we put something out there and we don't get the response we want, we hide, like I'm not gonna expose myself and put my ideas out there because the world didn't like it. But the next one might be the one the world likes, or just be like, hey, it's all about what everyone likes and stuff. So, all right, so crystal ball time. What's the future hold for you? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Hmm. Yeah, it's very exciting times because at my company at MindRove, then aside from the EEG, MEG stuff, we're also trying to create AI models and AI architecture. And recently, I just published, let's just say, published a provisionary patent, the first patent I ever hold. And yeah, that's I hope it to become a stepping stone for me.
Yep,
Yeah, to just like be an inventor. This is the first time I'm becoming an official inventor.
yep,
And in this year, I'm trying to create as much invention as I can.
okay.
And yeah, I wish to see one of those invention become something of a lot of traction, you know. And aside from that, then actually, hmm, there's a lot of things going on right now. Especially if you mentioned earlier, prior to our talk, then I am also a fellowship at Mercedes, where I'm doing a project there as well. So yeah, I'm just doing a lot of things, hoping some of them will catch up.
That's amazing. So if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to reach out to you? Because I see a lot of people wanting to chat with you because you just have a lot of cool stuff going on.
Oh yeah, uh, LinkedIn is the best way. I always, yeah, I always connect with people, no matter who you are. You just hit me up with a connection on LinkedIn, I'll accept it. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you comment on my YouTube, I always make sure to reply to it. And folks, like the thing is, when I publish my videos, people have even tried to reach out to me on Substack.
Hmm.
Like they texted me on Substack to
No?
share insights with me as well. So any channels, I'm always up to it.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to come on the show. As always, thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, no problem.